Right, so this is only going to be a very quick video. This is an English hawthorn tree. It's been in my collection for well over 20 years. I propagated it into a raft style when I was at my old house, and I've been living here now for 20 years. So the minimum age of this tree is 20 years old. The reason it's called a raft style is you can see this root or trunk here. This was the main trunk of the tree. It used to be stood up that way. These main branches were coming out the side of it, so it wasn't a very good looking tree. As you can appreciate, if that was up like that, two big branches going nowhere basically. So I had the idea that I would try and do a raft style tree. So what I had to do is I got a very sharp blade and I cut the bark away down to the cambium layer. I did that in about 5 or 6 places along the bottom of the trunk. And if you can see here, you can see all of these roots that have come out this side here. That's obviously from underneath where one of the cuts were. There's another one there. So what I did was plant the tree on its side. I put hormone rooting powder on the cuts underneath the main trunk. I wired the branches up into this position. So these were wired originally, but obviously they're now so thick they don't need any wire to hold them up. And as you can see, it flowered profusely this year. It's put on all of these berries, which if I wanted to, I could collect when they fall off the tree and keep them over winter, plant them in the spring, see if they grow. I can obviously propagate new trees from it. I've got, if you ask my partner, she'll tell you I've got far too many trees as it is at the moment. I've got round about 200. I haven't counted them for a while, but it's around about the 200 mark, all in various stages of maturity. So I've got things as big as this, just cuttings and things that I've done this year or over the years, up to massive trees. My biggest tree is about 5 foot tall. I've got several of those. I've got one tree which is a group of European beech trees, and the pot is so large and the planting is so heavy it takes at least 4 men to lift it. I will video that in the future. But as I say, it's an extremely large heavy tree. It's made up of a group of 3 that had planted together for 10 or 15 years. The trunks on those are about 1 inch across, and then last year we added about another 15 smaller beech trees to it. The pot that I've got in is at least 1 metre long by 3/4 metre wide, and it must be at least 4 inches deep. It's a very big pot, costs an extremely large amount of money these years. I did see one in a bonsai nursery that I went to before lockdown kicked in. They were asking £999 just for the pot. So planting that I've done on those prices, I think that group is worth probably £2,500 English money. So I've just taken that piece of wire off there. As you can see, there is the old piece of root that it's come from. So I might want to just put a thicker piece of wire on there and bend it into a different position. This one I'm going to stand up as more of a tree, so I'll use this piece of wire for that. I'll secure that down the side of that. I can get it in there. That's got that in there. tree when it's in leaf, you need to try and avoid crushing the leaves underneath the wire. That's where this little hook helps. You can hold them out of the way. So now, instead of that being the side branch, that can come up and be the new leader of the tree. This can be the side branch. Just look that way a little bit. Okay, this one, I'm going to lean away from that. So I'm going to slightly put the piece of wire. Lots of old pieces of wire over here. They are quite deadly. You get that in the end of your finger, you soon know it. They are razor sharp. I tend to cut most of the thorns off of my trees when I'm working on them. If I see them, snip them off with the scissors. Just saves you injuring yourself. I haven't worked on this tree this year, so the thorns have developed naturally. So you see them at the base of each of these nodes. So just cut them off as I see them. So when you're wiring this type of tree, you have to be very careful not to spike yourself with the thorns. They do hurt when they're going. You see. Right. That'll be okay for that. Let me just get I wasn't planning on doing any trimming on this, but I've just seen a few spots here. We've got two branches coming from the same spot there. We've got this dead piece there. So this is called an English Hawthorn. That is one of the thorns. Of white. So that's the actual thorn itself. Disaster. Thought it was too thick. It's not believable. So, change of plan. This can now be the leader rather than the branch. That's a good little lesson there. I knew it was that piece of wire was too thick for the tree. I carried on regardless. Went a little bit gung-ho and snapped the top of the tree. What I wanted to do. branches have been taken up over the years, even scars. This is a very old one. You can see it's the same with these down here. They're probably 20 years old, those scars. Right, I've just seen under here. Coming out in the same position there. So I will get rid of the middle one and I'll get rid of the one on the left hand side, and that leaves those two. So I'll take the lower one off, even though it's got all those lovely berries on it. Right, so that's nearly it. There's another spike there which can come off. There we go. So, future development for this tree, I may sever, when one goes in. So I've got a few little dead studs and things here that haven't been tidied up for a couple of years. I'll just take them off. I'm letting this tree just grow in a free-form style really. I haven't done masses of shaping with it. I've left it too late in the year to do any real major pruning. Actually, that should be done in the spring when the new growth comes out. Get rid of. So this part here, for instance, this one that's growing down. You don't really need to use it growing down, so that I just give it a bit of a tidy up, nothing special. These two make it into a twin trunk tree, because at the moment I've lost 2 or 3 other branches over the years. There was a nice big one here which I cut off earlier, which made the composition more symmetrical really. It made it look, it was probably nearly as thick as this one, so it gave a bit of structure to this side we were planting. As it is at the moment, we've got 2 dominant trees on one side and these 2 small sort of saplings here. It may be best just to sever it in the middle and have a 2-tree combination next year. So you look at it from there, I can get rid of the branches that go into the middle like that and just train them out into almost like a goblet shape possibly. That's one option. The other option would be to find a couple of extra small seedlings and plant them around just to fill up, make it more of a forest style. I've got quite a few hawthorns in my collection. This is a small one. I've got a very nice one that's probably 2.5 feet tall. It's in a massive flower pot. I'm looking at it at the moment. Again, it's got lots of growth this year. It's got lots of berries on. I must have 15 or 20 of these in my collection, so I could quite easily turn this into a Right, okay, I'm not going to do any more. I'm starting to fiddle now and I'm going to take off branches that I'm going to need in the future or do something silly. So that's the English hawthorn. Next year, look out for updates and we'll see how it goes from there. Thanks very much.